Hi everyone. Let's start paper 2 of AS level, October-November 2024, variance 22. The duration of this paper is 1 hour 15 minutes. We need to attempt all the questions and the total mark for this paper is 60. Periodic table is given at the end of the question paper. Also, relevant constant data table is also given in this question paper. Let's start question number 1. Vanadium, niobium, and tantalum are metals in the same group of the periodic table. The shorthand electronic configuration is also called short form of electronic configuration of vanadium in the ground state is this. By the way, ground state is the lower energy state. Now, state, what is meant by term ground state? The ground state is the lowest energy state. All right. Show the electronic configuration of vanadium using electrons in the boxes notation, which means examiner is looking for the spin configuration for vanadium. So first of all, vanadium has total how many electrons? 18 and 2, 20, 20 plus 3, 23. So we need to arrange these electrons in terms of spin configuration. So that's an easy task. 4s contain 2 electrons. So these 2 electrons can be represented by such a spins, right? And this is 3d contain 3, तो हम single fill करेंगे इसको. All right. So that's the electronic configuration in the boxes. Deduce the total number of electrons in the p subshell of vanadium atom. P subshell. So let me give you the configuration of argon. Argon की configuration कर लेते हैं. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and then 3p6, right? Now p में electrons, इसमें भी electrons हैं p में, इसमें भी electrons हैं p में, right? So obviously total कितने electrons हो जाएंगे p में? 12. तो हम यहाँ पर लिखेंगे 12. Okay. Next part. Palladium was suggested name for the new element discovered in a mineral. Palladium was later found to be a mixture of niobium and tantalum. Only one naturally occurring isotope exists for each niobium and tantalum. Complete table 1.1. Guys, जब आप क्वेश्चन रीड करें मेक श्योर करें कि एग्जामिनर कौन से टेबल की बात कर रहा है. जिस टेबल की वो बात करेगा उस टेबल का डेटा आपने अप्लाई करना होगा. ऑलराइट, तो बहुत केयरफुली रीड कीजिएगा क्वेश्चंस को इस सिनेरियो में. The atomic number of niobium is 41, which means it has 41 electrons and 41 protons. So I'm going to write 41 here. Now I'll subtract 93 minus 41. Let me check. 93 minus 41. So I'll get the neutrons, which is basically 52. All right. So atomic number of tantalum is 73, which means it has 73 protons. When we subtract 181 from 73, I'll get the number of neutrons. That's 108. Now the next part is define relative isotopic mass. So relative isotopic mass is basically average mass of an atom of isotope relative to one over 12 mass of an atom of carbon 12 isotope. All right. Now the next part of the question is a sample of fallopium contain 90.9% by mass of niobium and 9.1% by mass of tantalum. Calculate the theoretical relative atomic mass of fallopium based on these data and table 1.1. So I am looking for the relative atomic mass of fallopium, and for that I'm going to use table 1.1. इसका मतलब fallopium के लिए मैं इन values को use नहीं करूंगा, ठीक है? I'm not going to use such data. Also give your answer to 2 decimal places, so examiner is looking for an answer in 2 dp. All right, and examiner wants the working also. So fallopium, table 1.1. So I'm going to use these values. All right, so 92.1 into 93. Okay, this is the relative atomic niobium, and that's a little bit strange for me. Calculate the theoretical relative 92.91. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to take this value and okay. So first of all, this is the relative abundance. That's a little bit tricky. This is the relative abundance of niobium 93. We have here niobium 93. All right. Point zero. ठीक है. Hold on. 100 minus 9.1. So you will get what? 90.9. Okay. ठीक है. So बेटा हम कर ये रहे हैं, theoretical relative atomic mass ले रहे हैं. हम लेंगे 92.91. इसको हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 0.909 प्लस, फिर हमारे पास है 180.95. ये वैल्यू लेंगे और इसको हम मल्टीप्लाई कर लेंगे 0.091 से, एंड आई एम गोना डिवाइड दिस नंबर. तो टेक्निकली मैंने उसको परसेंटेज में ही कन्वर्ट कर लिया. जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड. होल्ड ऑन. 90.9 डिवाइडेड बाय 100. ठीक है. होल्ड ऑन, एक बेहतर अंदाज से कर लेते हैं इसको. 92.91 इंटू 90.9 प्लस 180.85 into 9.1 divided by 100. So I'll get the answer is 100.92 and that's my answer. पहले मैंने परसेंटेज को डायरेक्ट उसमें कन्वर्ट कर दिया था मल्टीप्लाई शल्टीप्लाई करके. सो जो मेरा पैटर्न है पढ़ाने का, मैंने उसी हिसाब से ये काम करके दे दिया आपको. ठीक है. सो मैं इस वैल्यू को इससे मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा, फिर इस वैल्यू को इससे मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा, डिवाइड कर दूंगा टोटल अबंडेंस से. टोटल अबंडेंस इन दोनों को ऐड करके मिलेगी विच इज 100. ओके, तो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी लाइक दिस. सो theoretical relative atomic mass of fallopium is 100.92. That's the first question. Let's move on to the next one. Oxygen is in group 16 of the periodic table. Write equations for the following reactions: sodium and oxygen. So when sodium undergoes reaction with oxygen, then there will be a redox reaction and you will get sodium oxide. And remember, sodium oxide is basically a basic oxide because it is a metal oxide, okay? When sulfur and oxygen undergoes chemical reaction, sulfur exists in S8, all right, reacting with oxygen, converting into sulfur dioxide. Put 8 here, 8 here. So whenever sulfur burned in the presence of oxygen, you will get sulfur dioxide. By the way, sulfur burned with oxygen with a blue flame. Remember that. Draw a dot and cross diagram to show the species present in aluminum oxide. First of all, aluminum oxide is an ionic compound. और ionic compound की जो dot and cross diagram है वो हमेशा bracket के अंदर होती है, right? Sharing of electron नहीं हो सकती. An examiner is looking for the outer electrons only, which means ये मेरे पास एल्यूमिनियम आयन है और ये इसका वैलेंस शेल है. So 3 electrons are removed from the valence shell. So valence shell becomes empty. इसको मैंने शो किया, यहाँ 3+ चार्ज आ गया. Then ऑक्सीजन है, ये मेरे पास ऑक्सीजन है और ये ऑक्सीजन का वैलेंस शेल है. All right, oxygen has 6 valence electrons because it is found in group 16 of the periodic table. Let me show these 6 electrons: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So एल्यूमिनियम ने जो इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किए थे उसमें से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन यहां पर गेन होगा और दूसरा इलेक्ट्रॉन यहां पर गेन होगा. ठीक है. So this is the first electron gained from the aluminum atom. This is the second electron. So oxygen carries 2 minus charge. All right, that's the answer. अगर आप चाहें तो यहाँ पर 2 लिखिए, यहाँ पर 3 लिखिए. That's also acceptable in the paper. Okay. The maximum oxidation state of period 3 element in their oxide varies across the period. That's what we have done in the class. State and explain the variation. Group period 3 के जो oxides हैं उनको मैं list कर देता हूँ. Sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide, silicon dioxide. और higher oxidation state क्या है इसलिए P4O10, SO3 and one more. P4O10, SO3 and Cl2O7. So this is the oxidation number. Magnesium की oxidation number +2. In this case +3. In this case silicon has +4. In this oxide phosphorus has +5, +6, and this chlorine has +7 in this oxide. All right. So oxidation state increases as you can see. और ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट इसलिए इंक्रीज हो रही है बिकॉज नंबर ऑफ वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आल्सो इंक्रीजेस. सोडियम हैज 1 valence electron so it shows +1. Magnesium has 2 valence electrons so it shows +2. Aluminum has 3 valence electrons shows +3. Silicon has 4 valence electron +4. Phosphorus के वैलेंस शेल में 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं इसलिए +5. सल्फर के वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स +6 होते हैं तो +6. Chlorine has 7 valence electrons so it shows +7. This is because number of valence electrons which are involved in the bonding increases. Okay, part B. H2O reacts with both inorganic and organic compounds. Complete table 2.1 to give details of the reaction of same period 3 oxide with H2O. If we are getting magnesium hydroxide by reacting with water, इसका मतलब oxide would be magnesium oxide. P4O10, when treated with water, it will turn to H3PO3 and also H3PO4. दोनों आंसर पॉसिबल हैं, but I'll go with H3PO4 because P4O10 से H3PO4 ही बनता है. Magnesium hydroxide is a weak alkali, so its pH range exists between 8 to 11. And phosphoric acid is a weak acid. Obviously, its pH range exists between 2 to 4. All right. अगर आपको एग्जैक्ट नहीं मालूम तो आप रेंज लिखिए. तो मैंने ये रेंज लिख के दिया आपको. मैंने क्लास में आपको इसकी 9 लिखवाई, राइट? तो मैंने यहाँ रेंज लिख दी है, क्योंकि वीक बेस की जो रेंज है वो ये होती है. वीक एसिड की जो रेंज है वो ये होती है. 2 to 5 भी लिख सकते हो, बाय द वे, आप कोई इशू नहीं है. Write an equation for the reaction of cyanomethane with water in acidic condition. See, this is acid hydrolysis. So whenever acid hydrolysis takes place, nitrile will turn to carboxylic acid. It will turn to carboxylic acid. CH3 will remain as it is. CN will turn to COOH. Okay. And also, ammonia gas is given off. Now the issue is, ammonia is alkali, H plus ion is an acid. So ammonia accept this proton and will turn to ammonium ions. That's what we have done in the class. I've told you. Always ammonium salts are formed in such reactions. Okay. Let me check how many oxygens we have here. 2 oxygen we have, 1 oxygen we have. So 2 oxygen balance करने के लिए यहाँ पर 2 लगाइए. How many hydrogen atoms here? 4 and 1 5. Over here we have 4 and 1 5. Okay. Balancing check करते हैं. ये CH3 as it is है. इसमें कोई चेंज नहीं है. इग्नोर कर दीजिए इसको. एक नाइट्रोजन है, यहाँ भी एक नाइट्रोजन है, बैलेंस्ड है. इग्नोर कीजिए इसको. We have 2 oxygen. Over here we have 2 oxygen. Balanced हो गया. We have 2 times 2 4 plus 1 5 hydrogen. We have 4 1 5 hydrogen. How much charge here? Plus 1. How much charge here? Plus 1. It's a balanced chemical equation. All right. जब कोई नंबर नहीं होता तो हम क्या यूज करते हैं यहाँ पर? 1. ठीक है. Next, draw the structures of the 2 alcohols formed in the reaction shown in equation 1. So when propene reacts with water, you will get propanol. All right. So propene is basically an unsymmetrical alkene. Steam is basically an unsymmetrical reagent. So in this reaction, Markovnikov rule is going to follow. Apply Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov rule says in an unsymmetrical alkene, the positive part, I mean to say electrophile, goes to that double bonded carbon atom where we can have more hydrogen atoms. So let me show you. This is propene. And this is steam. When they will react together, you will get two different, you will get alcohol, but it exists in 2 different isomers, right? The first possibility is CH3 will remain as it is, CH will remain as it is, single bond and CH2 will remain as it is. First possibility is कि steam का जो H है वो यहाँ ऐड हो जाए और OH यहाँ ऐड हो जाए. Second possibility is CH3, CH, CH2 as it is रखिए. Second possibility is कि H यहाँ पर ऐड हो जाए, OH यहाँ पर ऐड हो जाए. All right. So these are the 2 isomers of this alcohol. Okay. इस isomer का नाम है propane 2-ol. और इस आइसोमर का नाम है प्रोपेन 1-ol. Propane 2-ol follows Markovnikov rule, which is why it is going to be the major product. Propane 1-ol never follows the Markovnikov rule, which is why it is going to be the minor product. All right. So ये प्रोडक्ट मार्कोनिकोव रूल को फॉलो करके बनी है, ये मार्कोनिकोव रूल को फॉलो करके नहीं बनी, which is why this product has greater yield as compared to this one. And you know Markovnikov rule always follow the stable carbocation criteria. All right. So we have done that on the basis of this. We have made the structure on the basis of stability of the carbocations. Anyway, next part, explain why alcohols are less acidic than water. See, acidic term. First of all, you need to understand what is meant by acid. Acid donate its hydrogen ion easily. So if ionization becomes easier, acid is stronger, right? So let's check कि ionization alcohol में easier होती है और water में, right? Let me give you an example here. This is CH3CH2OH. हम सब जानते हैं कि this CH3CH2 is an alkyl group. Alkyl group has a positive inductive effect. So obviously, due to positive inductive effect, it increases the electronic density on the oxygen atom. If electronic density on the oxygen atom increases, oxygen never pulls the electron from hydrogen atom, and therefore this hydrogen ionization cannot take place easily, and therefore alcohols are less acidic than water. I hope it makes sense to you. So alcohols have positive inductive effect of electron donating alkyl group this increases the electronic density on the oxygen atom. So oxygen can't pull the electron from hydrogen. Hence, ionization becomes not easier. All right. Let's move on to the next page. Figure 2.1 shows the boiling point of water and other group 16 hydrides. So water has the highest boiling point among these hydrides. We have done this in class in hydrogen bonding, if you remember. Explain the trend in the boiling points of group 16 hydrides from H2S to H2SE. From H2S to H2SE, number of electrons increases. So this increases the strength of van der Waals forces. If the strength of van der Waals forces increases, more energy is needed to overcome such force, and therefore boiling point trend increases. So from H2S to H2TE, number of electrons increases. The strength of van der Waals forces increases. Van der Waals forces also called London forces, dispersion forces, instantaneous dipole induced dipole forces. The strength of van der Waals forces increases. To overcome such force, more energy is required. Hence, boiling point increases. Now, explain why boiling point of water is much higher than that of H2S. Water exhibits extensive hydrogen bonding, which is stronger than van der Waals forces of H2S. Hence, more energy is required to overcome hydrogen bonds. All right, that's the end of this question. Let's move on to the next one. That's question number 3. Nitrogen and phosphorus are elements in group 15 of the periodic table. Nitrogen is found in inorganic compounds such as nitrogen oxide, nitrates, and nitric acid. Identify one natural and one man-made occurrence of nitrogen oxide in the atmosphere. So, natural is basically lightning. I've told you in the class. Through lightning, oxides of nitrogen can produce man-made through internal combustion engine. But this internal combustion thing takes place always at high temperature because nitrogen contains triple bond. It has high bond energy, right? Write an equation to describe the role of NO2 in the direct formation of acid rain. NO2 equation. Okay, examiner is looking for the equation. We have done that equation in the class. Nitrogen dioxide, whenever react with water, it undergoes disproportionation reaction to give nitrous acid and nitric acid. Nitrous acid has a formula of HNO2. Nitric acid has a formula of HNO3. So we have 2 nitrogen atoms, all right? So put 2 here. Let's talk about the oxygen atom. 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 2 plus 3, 5 oxygen balanced, 2 nitrogen balanced, and 2 hydrogen balanced. So this chemical equation is balanced, all right? Peroxoacetyl nitrate, PAN, also called photochemical smog. Describe how PAN forms from NO2. So photochemical smog is always formed when unburnt hydrocarbons and NO2 react together in the atmosphere. PAN always formed when unburnt hydrocarbons reacts with nitrogen dioxide. All right, नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड इसलिए ले रहे हैं क्योंकि एग्जाम में नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड का रेफरेंस दे रहे हैं. Nitric acid reacts with basic oxide to form nitrates. Write an equation for the reaction of nitric acid with calcium oxide. That's an easy thing. Calcium oxide is a basic oxide because it is a metal oxide. It is reacting with nitric acid. Obviously, it's going to be the acid-base reaction, and you will get calcium nitrate and water. So calcium nitrate has a formula of CaNO3 taken 2, and water is formed, right? So how many nitrates here? 2. So we need to put 2 here. That's your balanced chemical equation, okay? Describe what is seen when solid calcium nitrate is heated strongly. Seen. So examiner is not looking for the equation. Examiner is looking for the observation. So whenever nitrate is decomposed on heating, obviously dark brown gas of nitrogen dioxide is formed. All right. Dark brown gas is observed, and dark brown gas indicates that NO2 is released during the reaction. A common test for nitrate is the reaction with NaOH and aluminum. Equation 1 shows the reaction. By the way, guys, this equation is really important, okay? In NO3, nitrogen has an oxidation state of +5. Aluminum is metal, so its oxidation state is 0. In ammonia, the oxidation state of nitrogen is -3. Let me find out the oxidation state of aluminum in this complex ion. Let's suppose aluminum is X. Hydroxide has a charge of -1. Since we have 4 hydroxide ion into 4, whole charge equals to -1, then X equals to +3. So technically nitrogen reduce भी हो रहा है, nitrogen oxidize भी हो रहा है. Technically reduce ही हो रहा है because +5 से -3 is reduction, +5 से +3 is reduction, right? So technically it is a reduction reaction. Also, you can say that aluminum metal, the metal always acts as a reducing agent. So technically aluminum is acting as a reducing agent here. Let me check what kind of a question is asking deduce the oxidation state of nitrogen in this. So आप लिखोगे +5. Next, identify the species that is oxidized in step 1. Oxidized is aluminum because aluminum here is 0. Over here it's +3. So इसका मतलब aluminum is oxidized whereas nitrogen is reduced, which is why it is a redox reaction. Okay. Remember that it's a redox reaction because aluminum is oxidized from 0 to +3. Nitrogen is reduced from +5 to -3. Ammonia is a basic gas. In fact, only alkaline gas. Describe how ammonia is able to act as a base because it accepts proton. Because during the reaction, it accepts proton. Okay, next, suggest the shape of this ion. Aluminum के around 4 bonds हैं. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since aluminum has 4 bonds around it and it has no lone pair, so total is going to be 4. Let me draw the 4 lines. First line always represent S, the remaining line represents p orbital, so hybridization is going to be sp3. So whenever we have sp3 hybridization with 4 single bonds, 0 lone pair, then the geometry is always going to be tetrahedral with an angle of 109.5 degree. So that's the case. Figure 3.1 shows a sketch sum of the ionization energy of phosphorus. Phosphorus has an atomic number of 15. So examine initially 10 electrons की ionization energy बताइए. Construct an equation to represent the third ionization energy of phosphorus. Third, that means 2 electrons already lost from the phosphorus gaseous ion. So phosphorus gaseous ions gain electron and converted into phosphorus gaseous 3+ ions and electron. Complete the graph in figure 3.1 to show the third to sixth ionization energies. Okay. By the way, phosphorus is found in group 15 of the periodic table, which means it has 5 valence electrons. And according to the concept, in successive ionization energy, first of all electrons are removed from the valence shell, which means first 5 electrons are removed from the valence shell. So according to the trend, it has to be like this. Not like this. Like this. This is the third ionization energy. This one is fourth. This one is fifth. All right. Now this one is going to be the biggest energy gap because shell changes at this point. All right. So over here, shell changes because these 5 electrons are removed from the valence shell. I hope it makes sense to you. Next, part D. Complete table 3.1 to show the properties of nitrogen and phosphorus in their standard state. Nitrogen is a colorless gas. Electrical conductivity is poor, very poor, in fact, can't conduct electricity because of the absence of free mobile electron. Type of bonding is covalent because whenever it exists in gaseous state, which means it exists in diatomic molecule, in diatomic molecule it exhibits covalent bonding. It has a simple molecular structure. Phosphorus, white solid, electricity poor because of the absence of free mobile electron. Type of bonding is covalent. And type of structure is simple molecular. Okay. A form of solid nitrogen has a lattice structure similar to solid iodine. If solid iodine, identify the type of structure of solid nitrogen. If solid iodine has a simple molecular structure, obviously solid nitrogen also has a same sort of a structure, that is simple molecular. And obviously when we say solid, which means it exists in lattice form, right? So simple molecular lattice arranged in a regular pattern because it is a solid state. In solids, particles are arranged regularly. At very high temperatures, phosphorus can form P2 molecule. P2 contain triple bond like this. Describe the formation of P2 bond in terms of orbital overlapping. Since it contained triple bond, which means this triple bond has 1 sigma and 2 pi bonds. So pi bond, let me write it here. For P2, contain 1 sigma which is formed through head-to-head, also called head-on, overlapping, of sp orbital, while pi bonds are formed through sidewise sidewise, also called lateral overlapping. Or lateral overlapping of p orbitals. I hope it makes sense to you. And that's what we have done in sigma bonding and pi bonding in detail, all right? The bond energy of P2 is 485 kilojoule per mole. The bond energy of nitrogen molecule is this. Compare the reactivity of P2 and N2. Explain your answer. Obviously, nitrogen is unreactive and inert because it has high bond energy as compared to P2. So examiner is looking for the reactivity, right? So I can say P2 has lower bond energy than nitrogen, which means its bond is weaker than nitrogen. Hence, P2 is more reactive as compared to nitrogen. So that's the end of question number 3. Let's move on to the next question. Bromoalkane is also called monohaloalkane, also called halogenalkane, or generally called alkyl halides, are widely used in industry, although there is increasing concern about their environmental impact. Okay. Figure 4.1 shows a reaction scheme involving 1,2-dibromoethane. So when ethene reacts with bromine, you will get 1,2-dibromoethane. When 1,2-dibromoethane reacts with NaOH, obviously, it's going to be the nucleophilic substitution reaction. And generally, nucleophilic substitution reaction is represented by SN. Reaction takes place under heat in the presence of ethanol or water as a solvent also. So the structure of this is going to be like this. Okay. By the way, alkene always undergoes electrophilic addition reaction. And this reaction takes place at RTP. When this compound reacts with NaOH in ethanol, elimination reaction takes place. This reaction is also called ethanolic NaOH. You will get an alkene. So it's 2 carbon atom alkyl halide with an alkene. So it's basically bromoethene. 2 carbon alkene is ethene, so it's bromoethene. When bromoethene reacts with an excess of NaOH, you will get this, this, and D. Okay. So, okay, so this D is going to be C triple bond C, H, and H. That's also called ethyne. And its formula is C2H2. So technically यहाँ से एक HBr चला जाएगा और between the carbon atom triple bond हो जाएगा. So जब between the carbon atom triple bond होगा तो इस alkene को हम C2H2 बोलेंगे because elimination हो रही है HBr की. Polymer तो easy है. This is C, this is H, this is H, this is C, this is H, this is Br, It has to be like that. मैंने आपसे कहा था ना कि जो भी आपको एल्कीन दी हुई है उसमें जो डबल बॉन्डेड कार्बन एटम है उसके साथ जो भी ग्रुप्स हैं उनको वर्टिकली अरेंज करो. आई डिड दैट. इस कार्बन के साथ भी जो ग्रुप्स थे उनको वर्टिकली अरेंज करो. सो अरेंज द एटम्स वर्टिकली इन एल्कीन एंड ऑब्वियसली मेक दिस सिंगल बॉन्ड इंस्टेड ऑफ डबल बॉन्ड. ठीक है. Complete figure 4.2 to show the mechanism for the formation of 1,2-dibromoethane in reaction 1. Charges, dipoles, lone pairs, electrons, curly arrows as appropriate as possible. By the way, this bromine has slight positive charge. This bromine has slight negative charge. Okay. These slight positive and negative charges are also called induced dipoles. Now the question is how induced dipoles appear on bromine molecule. So जैसे ये bromine molecule इस एल्कीन के करीब आएगा तो ब्रोमीन के जो जैसे करीब आएगा तो ये जो आपके पास बॉन्डेड पेयर है ये इस पाई बॉन्ड की वजह से रिपल्शन एक्सपीरियंस करेगा एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ये पाई बॉन्ड इस bonded pair को push कर देगा towards this bromine atom and as a result this bromine becomes electron rich and so it carries slight negative charge. This bromine becomes electron deficient and so it carries slight positive charge. What I was saying that this bond, this is the bonded pair of bromine molecule, right? So when it experiences repulsion because of the pi bond, which is why this pi bond pushes this bonded pair towards this bromine atom. I hope it makes sense to you. So let me show you reaction with this, removing this. So pi bond ने reaction किया, intermediate carbocation बनेगा. Now this intermediate carbocation can react with bromide ions and as a result you will get the product. Okay. Again, I repeat, this bonded pair of bromine molecule experiences repulsion because of the pi bond of ethene. So this pi bond of ethene pushes the bonded pair of bromine towards this bromine atom, making that bromine electron rich and so it carries slight negative charge. As a result, this bromine atom becomes electron deficient and so it carries slight positive charge. And because of this opposite charges, we can say that bromine molecule exhibit induced dipoles and therefore reaction takes place. All right. I hope it makes sense to you. We have done such sort of explanation in the class also. Okay, let's move on to the next page. The enthalpy change of reaction 1, delta HR minus 90 kilojoule per mole. The enthalpy change of formation of ethene is this. Calculate the enthalpy change of formation of this. Okay, let me write it down again. So if formation data is given, Hassel cycle needs to be drawn through upward arrow, right? And Hassel cycle always initiated through the constituent elements in their standard state. So I need carbon, I need hydrogen, I need bromine. Under standard condition, solid, gas, and liquid. Arrow needs to be upward like this and like this. Make a clockwise arrow in this direction. Now this value and this value becomes positive, this value becomes negative, and it's going to be equal to 0 so that we can arrange the values. The formation of ethene is going to be plus 52.2. Delta H is basically minus 90.0 and we need to find the value of X. So this value and this value is going to be positive. Plus 52.2 plus minus 90.9, sorry, minus 90.0, not 90, 90.0. Then minus X equals to 0, then X is going to be how much? Minus 37.8 kilojoules per mole. All right. Minus 52.2. Yeah. Complete figure 4.1 to draw the structure of compound A, name compound B. Compound A and compound B. Compound A I've already drawn, compound B naam bhi de diya. Draw the structure of one repeating unit of polymer C. So I've done that polymer. Let me copy this and draw that on the next page. Okay. In reaction 5, compound B reacts with an excess of NaOH dissolved in ethanol. The products are HBr, H2O, and an unsaturated hydrocarbon. So this unsaturated hydrocarbon means that either double bond or triple bond exists between the carbon atom. So double bond is always already there. So obviously it has to be the triple bond. And in order to satisfy the number of bonds of carbon, I need to attach one hydrogen here and one hydrogen here. So this formula is going to be C2H2, and this compound is going to be ethyne. Belongs to alkyne family. So it's C2H2, also called ethyne. Okay. Next, compound E is only isomer of 1,2-dibromoethane. Alkaline hydrolysis of E gives compound F. Okay. Identify the type of isomerism shown by E, 1,2-dibromoethane. Oh, that's easy. This is 1,2-dibromoethane, and this compound is the positional isomer. Positional isomer of 1,2-dibromoethane. Okay, 1,2-dibromoethane का structure ऐसे होता है. So this compound has only 2 carbon. So this compound has only 2 carbon also. This compound has total 4 hydrogen. 3 plus 1, 4 hydrogen. This compound is 2 bromine. This compound is 2 bromine, which means the molecular formula of both the compound is same, but both the compounds have different structures, which means both are structural isomers of each other. So you can write structural isomer instead of positional isomer, but क्योंकि मैंने आपको बहुत डिटेल से आइसोमेरिज्म पढ़ाया है, तो आपको पोजिशनल आइसोमर लिखना चाहिए, बिकॉज पोजीशन ऑफ फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स आर चेंज्ड. व्हाई? बिकॉज इस कार्बन के साथ एक ब्रोमीन है, इस कार्बन के साथ एक ब्रोमीन, बट लुक एट दिस स्ट्रक्चर, इसमें एक ही कार्बन के साथ 2 ब्रोमीन है, तो पोजिशनल आइसोमर्स चेंज हो गए, यानी पोजीशन ऑफ फंक्शनल ग्रुप चेंज हो गया. नेम द होमोलोगस सीरीज that F belongs to. F is basically an aldehyde because it is a functional group of aldehyde. Complete table 4.1 to state what is observed when F reacts with reagent listed. F is basically an aldehyde. It's basically ethanal. This is CH3. This is carbon double bond oxygen. This is H. So it's basically ethanal. Ethanal, when treated with 2,4-D NPH, obviously you will get yellowish orange precipitates, right? When tolerance reagent is treated with aldehyde, you will get silver mirror. When alkaline aqueous iodine is treated with this compound, obviously reaction takes place because CH3, C double bond O, this entire group is present. CH3CO group is present, then iodoform give positive test. All right. So yellow precipitates of iodoform will appear with an antiseptic smell. Oh. नेक्स्ट पेज। एक चीज और आपको मैं बता दूं, ट्रिकी होता है बहुत समटाइम्स। अगर आपने पेपर अटेम्प्ट किया लेकिन अटेम्प्ट करने के बाद आप नेक्स्ट पेज एम्प्टी देखें तो इट डजंट मीन कि पेपर कंप्लीट हो गया है। यू हैव टू गो टू द नेक्स्ट पेज, बिकॉज जब चैप्टर क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट होता है तो उसके एंड में टोटल मार्क्स लिखे हुए होते हैं। यहाँ कोई टोटल मार्क्स नहीं लिखे हुए, इसका मतलब क्वेश्चन अभी है, एग्जिस्ट करता है। ठीक है, यूजुअली बच्चे स्किप कर देते हैं, उनको लगता है कि अगला पेज एम्प्टी है तो इसका मतलब पेपर कंप्लीट हो गया। ऐसा नहीं होता। Compound F reacts with reagent G to form compound H. Okay. The infrared spectrum of H is shown in figure this. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite. If you remember, this is a very broad peak. This is the pointed peak. That's what I have given you in the class. The shape of this peak appears at 3000 centimeter inverse, indicating very broad, very strong, represents COOH, which means this aldehyde is oxidized into carboxylic acid, which means this H is basically carboxylic acid. Generally speaking, carboxylic acid, specifically speaking, ethanoic acid, because ethanol gives ethanoic acid on oxidation, which means this G is basically an oxidizing agent. Okay, let me show you one thing. This is 1500, 16, 1700, 1720 पे एक और peak है, and that peak basically carbonyl group को represent करेगा. Okay. H also shows a molecular ion peak at M by this. So if molecular ion peak is appear at 60, which means the compound has a molecular mass of 60, and 60 is the molecular mass of ethanoic acid. Use the information in E 4.3, table 4.2, deduce the structure of H, explain your answer. H is ethanoic acid. Carbonyl peak appear. अच्छा, carbonyl की रेंज देंगे हम. This is carbonyl and its range is 1670 to 1740. 1670 to 1740 centimeter inverse. First thing. Second thing, very broad, very strong peak appear at carboxylic acid को देखो, 2500 to 3000. 2500 centimeter inverse to 3000 centimeter inverse shows COOH group. Such is the role of G. It is an oxidizing agent, because whenever aldehyde turn into carboxylic acid, oxidation takes place, and for that we need oxidizing agent. So it could be potassium dichromate 6 or it could be potassium manganate 7. All right, I hope it makes sense to you.